Look, I'm probably the most unpopular opinion when it comes to this, but I say bring Brynn back.
Virtual reality.
Kiki Monique, you are here in person, even though I feel like I see you every day on my like Instagram and TikTok feed.
Yeah.
You are everywhere, and I love it.
I mean, I see you every day, so yeah.
Wait, but you are in the city, and I'm so excited because you're going to be, I mean, you always are hosting Reality Checked on RadioAndy, which is so fun.
Yes.
How much do you love doing that?
I mean, I get to watch my favorite shows and talk about them to people. Like, how can you not love that?
It's a good setup. It's fun. And I love too, because whenever I listen, you get good interviews. Mm-hmm. But I love that you do the perfect combo of giving good interviews and also your opinions. And I'm like, oh, no one's getting mad at her. No, or I don't think anyone's getting mad at you.
If they are, they're keeping it under wraps.
Okay.
I sometimes I hear some buzz, but I'm like,
Okay.
it's all good.
It's all good. It means you're listening.
Yeah.
What are you most excited to talk about this week in the Bravoverse? Because that's what I love. I'm like, you basically prepare for this, but preparing for your job too.
Yeah. No, I think like Southern Hospitality is going to have their finale and the reunion back to back. And like, already I've been talking to people and I've heard that it's a bloodbath, the reunion. So
Is it like Emmy leading the charge of the bloodbath?
I haven't heard specifically,
Okay.
but I've heard like I think relationships are fractured. People have. I mean, actually, TJ came on Reality Check.
Oh.
He said after the reunion, him and Brad both blocked Emmy. So because of something they found out. I don't know what it was, but I guess we'll find out at the reunion.
Oh, that's okay. Because they were kind of like the two people that were semi in her corner.
Well, yes and no, but they were also the ones that were really like addressing the issues. And that's what I found interesting because I went through, you know how I do. I went and looked at all the followers and I noticed that like Emmy is still following all the cast except Bradley and TJ, which is why I asked. And he said, well, it's because we blocked her. So I thought it was interesting because it's sort of everyone in that cast really brought up the issues with Will to her. So I'm like, why do you still have relationships with the rest of them?
I mean, watching Emmy stresses me out. Because also, I'm sure you have been in the same boat. I've had friends that have been in a situation like that. I'm not saying what he's doing is true or not, but we're just like, oh my God, girl, all of the walls are writing to you. How was watching it for you?
I mean, when her sister came to town and she was really just like, Will's gonna propose to me, and her sister's kind of like, I don't think that I would be able to get past all of these rumors. And she's just kind of like, when you're older and when you've had a relationship, but it's like, it's not like she's 12 years old.
Yeah, she's, I think, 2 years younger than you, and also is being more emotionally mature right now than you are.
Yeah.
I know, but that's a scary, well, she's like, he's gonna propose next month. Or next year. Yeah,
Should we get married in Italy?
I'm like, what? These two, and it seems so crazy because sometimes, I don't know about you, watching that show, I forget the ages of them because I'm like, oh, they're 22. I'm like, oh wait, no. They're like very much like full-on adults.
They're adults, but they're still, it's Charleston, so I feel like there's like a very like delayed sort of aging.
I'm worried about how Joe and Maddie are doing post-reunion because I feel they're gonna have a build-up to rise, like it's gonna be a little tense there.
I feel like what we're watching is like another Paige and Craig situation where the woman that he started dating is not the woman she's gonna be because she is flourishing in her DJ career. I also feel like he was a bit of a rebound, personally. Because he's always sort of been pining after her, and he's finally got the girl, and she's always just needed a nice guy because she's had these really bad relationships. But it's like now she's really coming into her own, and...
Do you feel it's going to end the Paige and Craig way?
I think they're going to date a while, and then, I think he's going to be, like, completely caught off guard, but we're all going to be like, really? You didn't see this coming?
Roll the memes of what she's been saying. How has been, because of course... you are talking about Paige and Craig on Reality Checked. How is reliving all of the moments with everything going on too?
I think I say this every week. If we had seen this season of Summer House play out, we would have not been shocked by their breakup because you really see Paige really sort of owning the fact that like, yes, I said these things when I was younger, but I'm allowed to change my mind. Yeah. You know, it's like, I'm growing, I'm selling out Radio City Music Hall.
Twice.
Yeah. Like
at the Oscars?
Yeah. You know, like, yes, I thought I wanted to be like married with a kid, but like, I want to do this. And like, Craig, you got to live your life. Let me live my life. And you know.
That is, because I even have been laughing watching the scenes of them together on Summer House so far. I'm like, this is just, I think their long distance kept them together so much longer than they would be. Because just like, oh, there's no flights.
Exactly. Like, it was just like, oh, I'm not going to make it this weekend. I'll see you in a couple weeks. Like,
And they're just like both like busy filming, so it's not
Yeah.
like they're trying to really look for anything else or something like that.
Yeah.
I know that is maybe because I know I want everyone just to be able to like move on with it because I want them to start dating new people because I feel they both are going to be out and about.
oh, the next woman that Craig dates is going to be like knocked up with an engagement ring, like quickly.
Yeah. I'm not sure the order of all that's going to be, but it's going to be happening
Yes.
very, very soon.
Yeah.
And I've been loving even like I think all like Sally came in from Southern Charm. She's kind of ready for a little Craig, I think.
Yeah, okay. I mean, she was kind of dancing around. And she's
Yeah.
like, we went to dinner with other people, but you know, we could see. And I'm like, okay.
I know. Who knows? I know. I'm curious how all the reunions play out too, because I feel like Craig seems to be wanting to get a lot off of his chest, and I love that Vanita kind of is the only one on that show that called him out.
I mean, but like, and he did save her life.
He did.
But you know, I
know.
guess it's still.
And also, it's hard to. Whenever I see her name on an IG post or something, I get worried because I'm like, please don't tell me it's about JT.
I know. I'm like, did you see today that JT's girlfriend made a comment? And I'm just kind of like, can we please stop fighting over JT? I'm like,
That is kind of the thing.
This is the part that's really like, this is embarrassing.
I'm like, you both are too pretty and successful to be wasting breath and like typing speed over JT, which is really shocking to me.
Yeah, and I honestly, like, in the beginning when JT first came on, I thought it was refreshing. He was calling the guys out.
Yeah.
But now I'm actually starting to question him. Like, even as much of his accent. I was like, where you're from in Virginia, I don't even think you would have that deep of a Southern accent. I don't even believe that.
And I know you'll get to the bottom of it. I know you will. Yeah. I love that. No, I know. It's kind of those things where he was so refreshing at first and you're like, oh, this is what you were. It was actually just like, it kind of was an act a little bit.
Yeah, I'm curious. You know, Leva's coming on Reality Check today, and I'm curious I'm going to ask her, you know, because he quit back in November. He quit, said he wasn't going to film anymore, but we see he's at the reunion. So I'm curious what made him, maybe it's just a contract that made him.
That's true.
You know, but.
Wait, that's exciting because she'll give you all of the Southern tea.
It's what I'm hoping for.
And I don't know, because she came in a few weeks ago before the reunion, and her new bob, I think, is giving her life. I feel she's really coming into her own. I was like, oh my God, this is a more activated Leva than I've seen in a minute.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to hear. Do you have any other fun guests this week?
Maybe, but I forget right now.
Okay, sometimes you're like, you know what, you will find out.
Exactly.
They come in last minute. I would love you to call Stacey.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I do need Stacey. Girl. I mean, look, I did love to see this sort of Detroit side of Stacey come out this reunion because we did not see that at all.
Yeah, she was on the defense. She was like, okay, the QVC is down.
Yeah.
And she's back. Yeah. Didn't land well, though.
No, I mean, this whole TJ situation. First of all, I don't think any of us were feeling TJ the entire season.
No.
She was the only one that liked that guy.
No. And it made, the only reason I was like entertaining it for her is like, because sometimes she is like otherworldly in the sense like she's an alien.
Yeah.
In a way that I love and am so entertained by. But
Yeah.
I'm like, I think this is working. I was like, I think they are good literally going on dates to the zoo and then doing paint by numbers together. Like,
I just have a problem with people who call their significant other their best friend all the time. I'm like, I get you guys are close, but
I would say like if you guys have been together 9 months and you haven't hooked up, that is your friend.
yeah.
And I feel Simone, even on Watch What Happens Live, was like, what is happening here?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you, when you, because I love that Eddie brought this all out, when you heard that what he was saying about she was paying me and everything, do you believe TJ? Do you think he's bitter? Or do you think she owes a Venmo?
I think he's bitter. I think he knows that this is a storyline that like makes women turn on other women. And so, because he's in women's business,
Yeah.
and so he knew that he could say that because he's a little bit dejected. I don't think he liked the way what he saw coming back at him, and he was like, I'm going to embarrass her back.
I know, but also, and even Stacey on Watch What Happens Live was saying, yeah, he didn't like that was portrayed because you portrayed very mean stuff about him. I'm like, he was mean to you.
That's what I'm saying. If I was paying my boyfriend and he was treating me like that, I'd be like, refund. Maybe I wouldn't pay the last 2 months bill or how much he said.
She thought he ordered on QVC was on Shein. She's like, how do I return this? I don't want this TJ anymore.
Yeah.
I know. I would love, because that's the funny thing where I think it was even Jacqueline, who no one really listened to at the reunion. She's like, you're too pretty to pay someone to date you, which I'm like, that is true.
Yeah.
But I know I'm very, so besides Stacey's kind of crumbling at the reunion a little bit, which I feel is going to bring for a really good next season for her, how are we feeling about Karen's third act in part 3 with the rehearsed of them being like, did you know how many automobile accidents happen on average?
It was really cringe to watch.
Yeah.
And like, look, I do feel for Karen, but I felt like it was gonna take this like hard punishment for her to it really change, because even the stuff that was coming out of the reunion. I mean, Ashley coming up on the train and saying she ran into someone from Legal Seafood.
First, I was like, she took the Acela up.
That's what I was like.
But you know, she was like, there's going to be more tea on the Acela. She was like, I'm going to get to the bottom of it. She probably just sat in every other show like, where do you work? Where do you work? I'm like, because we know Ashley Darby.
Yes.
And I love that. But I was shocked that everyone brought up everything.
Yeah.
Like even Wendy and Giselle, they're like, oh yeah, she goes there and she day drinks at 5 different places.
Yeah.
I guess that's the car involving, yeah.
Except at Tally Ho's, because, you know, her boy was like, she doesn't drink here. And I'm like, that means she drinks here all the time.
That's the Karen special.
Yes.
Yeah. Going away for a year. Would you want her to come back?
You know, I think that if she does, I don't know, because we don't know what she's going to be like.
Yeah.
And maybe we just need to see her in a different iteration that's not Real Housewives. Look, I want the best for her,
Yeah.
so I want to see the update for sure. I just don't know if it's going to be in Housewives world.
And I mean, even though this past season was a lot of Karen, I thought it was a really fun season of Potomac. Like everyone, I feel, came to work in a way they haven't
Well,
in a
that's
minute.
what's so great about the Potomac cast. It's
Yeah.
like, even if they're not getting along, they will go to work. They know that, like, we have to do our thing. I will say the season started off really strong. It got a little bit slow, but then the reunion, like, took over everything, and it was like...
The dog poop to the
Oh, yeah.
reunion really
Yeah.
kept everything up.
Yeah.
Do you, because of course, I feel every single day people either want Candace or Robin to come back. Do you think one of them would be fun in this mix, or you're like, let's not touch the group?
I'm really loving Giselle this season, and I feel like she flourished because she was alone and she had to, and so I'm enjoying, like, let's just see her do that.
I feel also Wendy really came into herself. Like I was like, oh my God, I haven't seen Wendy activated at a reunion maybe ever.
Well, I think it's because she's not beholden to the college university where I think she had to like uphold a certain sort of
you're right.
persona and manner, and now she doesn't have that job, so she can kind of be more herself.
I like, and also I feel like it's things so she could be more herself, and she's not like texting Candace herself. She's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna report to duty for that
Yeah.
show. So, and also I feel like Candace and Robin, they maybe want some more time off. I don't know. I think we're good. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Robin and Giselle have a good podcast. Like,
They have
you know,
fun.
because Robin will spill all the tea on the pod, and so I think, you know,
It's almost like she really is such a different Robin on
Yeah.
that podcast. And I don't know if because she like does not care about anybody anymore about who's on the show. But it's real. Whenever I see a clip of Reasonably Shady, it's heaven.
because when she threw out, she was the first one to throw out, like, doesn't Karen have 4 DUIs? And I was like, she must be exaggerating. I was like, oh no, she knew.
She does.
She
She
knew.
knew. She does. And then Giselle, like, she could have just done 3 months of house arrest or 6 months of house arrest.
I know.
It's,
Bad legal advice.
with Beverly Hills. How I feel some of the fans are starting to get a little tired of Dorit. Are you still loving Dorit? Are you exhausted of the PK? Like, what's happening?
Dorit came in strong. I was team Dorit. The last couple episodes, I do feel like she has been like picking on Sutton, but it's because, look, she has Bose and Erica Jane backing her up. And
Which is a
look,
good team.
It's a good team to have. So I would probably get a little bold too. And, you know, I do also think that Erica is like, when Sutton throws out the money stuff, I think that also is like hitting Erica in a different way.
Yeah.
And so I think she's there for Dorit in that way. So, you know, we'll see what happens. I mean, the reunion just, you know, film.
I know. I'm trying to think. Do we have any? I don't know if there's any like drama from the reunion or not. Because I know the Beverly Hills reunion. They said it went super, super long. I don't know if anything has spilled from it yet. But I want one of them to call into a reality check because I
know.
feel you'll get it out of someone.
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping because, you know, Dorinda was just in, she was filming the Traders reunion. She was in LA. Andy was the host for the Traders. So I do want to ask her, because she's the other host on Reality Check. I want to ask her, like, did you ask Andy anything? Like, what he was planning to go into the reunion about? I'm curious.
Oh my God. How fun is it that you like share a job with Dorinda Medley?
I know. It's so fun.
That's like such an iconic, like, that
Who
you're
would've
like-
thought?
Yeah,
Exactly.
that you're like, I could kind of be on Slack with Dorinda Medley.
Yeah, exactly.
When, are there any people that like you have been dying to talk to lately in the Bravo or just reality TV world that you want to call in?
You know, obviously, I think in reality TV world, I think Gabby Wendy, I think that she's just such a, like, icon right now
so
that I
fun.
just want to be in her presence to see what it feels like.
I know.
I almost like, I want her to maybe read me. I don't know, like just weird things.
something. Yes, or just like have like a snack time with her. Like I
Yeah.
feel she's just like very such a character, and I'm excited to see what she does after because I feel she's getting calls for something.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
because you're in New York. Mm-hmm. And there's big question marks around RHONY.
Yes.
where should we? You're an expert. Where should we lead Shed Media casting or production? What do we feel is happening?
Look, I'm probably the most unpopular opinion when it comes to this, but I say bring Brynn back.
Bring Brynn back.
Because I do think that, like, there's just no way she hasn't learned from this.
I feel there is some, that is true. I would hope that is the truth, that she's kind of like, message received, let me try a new perspective or try something else on. Yeah.
Because we know that second season Housewives, that is when the real you comes out, and like, for good or bad. And I think she sees herself and she's probably like, that was terrible. Let me just be me. Hopefully in the off time, she's done some soul searching and all sorts of things. But I just kind of want to see some sort of like continuation. I don't want it to just end like that.
I know, that's the thing where I feel like she started so strong and then everything crashed and burned. And now she just made an office in New York, so maybe she could have more scenes with the crew there instead of, all the other ladies who might not want to film with her right now. Because it's kind of crazy to see too, everyone, I feel the other ladies have been like Fashion Weeking and beyond together, and she's kind of been on her own, which does, like your point, bring the opportunity for her to come back in and start some feuds off strong again, or work to a place of peace. Would you want everybody to come back?
It's interesting because I really liked Raquel, but I felt like she was a little bit, I felt like it might have been too much for her, honestly.
She got stressed.
She got really stressed out, so I don't know if it's for her.
I know, and it's funny whenever I've talked to her in person, I'm like, you are so funny and cool, and her and Mel's chemistry, I'm like, what's, I'm like, why am I, I'm like, I now want to be on a motorcycle, what's happening here? But I know, I feel like a lot of times she's like, why is everyone shouting?
Yeah, exactly. She's like, I can't take it.
It seemed like that. Is there anybody that you know in the New York sphere that you're like, oh, they could be good in the mix?
I actually don't. Like, I don't know anyone who would be willing to go on camera and expose their life in that way, because it is very, you have to, like, give everything.
I know. I don't know, because I know people always get excited about Julia Fox. I don't know if I'd want her necessarily.
Yeah, I know people want, like, the Julia Fox, Anna Delvey sort of situation.
That's when it verges too much into, like, stunt casting of, like, I love just like Erica Jane in Chicago. Loved that. It works that way.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it would work the reverse way.
I don't know if they need to be in Housewives. Like, if there was, like, remember Gallery Girls?
My favorite show.
If there was, like, a Julia Fox, Anna Delvey Gallery Girl situation, I'd watch that.
Yes.
But it doesn't have to be Housewives. And I think that's the problem. Like, we find a city and we're like, make them a housewife. I'm like, no, we can also have another show.
That is really true. And I feel like they're kind of in the sphere of wanting to grow new shows that are outside of Housewives, just because it gives you so much more leeway to have a little more fun with these people too.
Yeah, and like I do think, Kelly Ben Simone had to send her list of like, this is what I think,
would love to know that list.
But I do think that the really good piece of advice is make New York another character, and that I do think that was missing because we didn't see a lot of New York as a character.
And that's a funny thing where I was like, wait, now Sai, Uba, and Jenna are all at like a Marc Jacobs show front row with all these people. I'm like, I want to watch that.
Yeah.
I want to see them all having the fun with that. I do always, because like I love always hanging out with Uba and everything like that, but I'm kind of like, oh my God, if you have this like handsome man who owns a house in Greenwich, Connecticut with a cute dog, I don't know if you need to take the Metro North in to film.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm kind of like, maybe you just, stay in Connecticut, like have your babies, chill with your rich man, and like do that.
Run into Bethany at the TJ Maxx up there.
I heard her hot sauce was like $60, $40. I heard it was really expensive. I don't know. I didn't look. Somebody was telling me it was really expensive.
I've tried it on because she did like a pizza collab, and it was
Okay.
really good.
Okay.
So I guess maybe it's worth it. I don't know. Maybe Bethany will try it.
Okay.
She can give it to her in Connecticut.
Yes.
Because I know when I think of Greenwich, Connecticut, I think of her now, just running around like with 5 iPhones. Is there any, because are you in the team, and I mean, I know you work with a RHONY alum, of mixing and mingling with that, or do you feel that would be like too many cooks in the kitchen?
No, I don't think we need to bring back people. I feel like we can enjoy them and they can go on to other things. We have Ultimate Girls Trip. We have Love Hotel. We have other things where we can experience them. Let's, if we have this formula, let's make it work however we can.
And you have the hot take of bring Brynn back. I love that alliteration. It's a tongue twister. It's a tongue twister for production, maybe.
Yeah.
But are there any other Bravo hot takes that you're like, people get mad at me for this, but this is my truth?
Oh gosh. I mean, I'm trying to think. I mean, in Summer House, I think I'm turning on Craig a little bit. I was like very much like not picking his side, but I'm sort of kind of like, no, I'm actually owning Paige, just like
Paige.
I'm like girl power now. So
it's very hard off the bat for me ever, or I'm like the pretty fashion girl with a cute cat. I'm like, I'm on your side. I'm like, don't even tell me the rest of the story. I'm on your side. But now as more of the story unfolds, I'm like, oh, now I'm really feeling you. Yes.
Yeah, but you know, at the end of the day, he's gonna be fine. He has a beautiful house. He's rich.
He has a V muscle.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That
He's
backyard
good.
alone, he can grill. I can swim in the pool. You make me ribs. Great.
Wait, I even forgot to ask, are you loving Summer House this season though?
Oh yeah, it's so good.
I'm obsessed with Lexi.
Are you?
I
Okay, that's
kind
a
of-
hot take.
That is a hot take. And it's maybe because I went to the premiere and she's literally just like this gorgeous, fun Barbie running all around. And I'm like, I'm just obsessed with your lifestyle. I know some people think she's kind of doing a lot, but you know, I love when someone is enthusiastic to be at work.
Look, I've talked about her a lot on Reality Check.
What have we been saying, Kiki?
But what I've said is, I never judge. Like, first season, I let you go. Like, I might feel some type of way, but I'm never gonna like go one way or the other until you get, again, second season is when I start judging. I will say it was interesting because but she's bringing it up. We've learned a lot. She's dated Brooklyn Beckham. She's dated Presley Gerber.
Yes.
You know, so it's kind of like, okay, she's been in this world, so is she, you know, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I'm curious. I know her and Jesse, I'm like, that is confusing me a lot.
Look, Jesse is not, like, he's not impressing me this season. He is coming off as a bit of, like, douchey energy, and I'm not liking it. Like, how do you tell a girl to her face, like, what did he say? Are you ditz?
Are you ditzy?
Yeah.
And then also was like, oh, is this usually how you date? When she's like, are we exclusive? I'm like,
Yeah.
if you're meeting, he's giving mixed signals. I'm like, if you are meeting her parents, that's a normal question to
Yeah.
ask. And also, I'm team, if you are in a relationship, you are not commenting on people's Instagram
No.
posts. Evan disagrees with me on that because he says it's harmless. I'm territorial.
So, okay, that's another hot take. That is the one thing about Jesse that I'm actually liking this season, because I do love that he's, like, pumping up his girlfriends.
I get it's fair if it's like Amanda and Sierra because they're all friends. I guess maybe Sierra's single, so that might, it seems like that pisses off Lexi a little bit. But outside of that, but maybe that's why I'm riding for Lexi, because I'm like, no, I'm also maybe kind of a psycho. But I love, and I feel Wes is just happy that Jesse's doing the bad things this season.
Wes is just like, I just want to have a fun summer. Sierra, are you going to ruin it for me? Because I really just want to have fun. And it's like, she's like, whatever, I don't care. Just
I think she's really over it.
yeah.
Which is,
at the end of the day, she just wanted you to acknowledge,
Yes.
like, look, she's really hot, and she's hotter than you, and she doesn't like that you're basically like in the rejection mode. She's the one that does the rejecting, and I get it. It's like, it doesn't feel good. So just acknowledge that you were a douche, and then she'll move on.
I know, but it is a beautiful showcase of New York dating, because so many women here that I'm like, you are so much hotter than your boyfriend, end up getting dumped.
Oh,
And
everyone
Wes is very handsome, but I mean, Sierra.
No, like, all of my girlfriends, I look around and I was just like, the fact that we were dealing with any of these dumbasses is crazy.
All right, are you still craving a little more tea? Evan, tell them where to go.
Make sure to like and subscribe to Page 6 YouTube to check out all of our exclusive virtual reality interviews and more.